Welcome back. So today we're going to be going over the Grayscale Trusts and the rest of the crypto products. So with that being said, let's get it. All right. So a couple of things here before we go over the Grayscale Trusts. So I did want to show you guys this first. Okay, we still got the MSTU, but we also picked up another set of call debit spreads this morning on Moderna. This is a biopharmaceutical company. I'll get into that probably tomorrow. There's many reasons for this. Again, when it comes to the call debit spreads or put debit spreads, depending on which side of the trade it is, we're pretty much looking for an asymmetrical bet here. So as close to a near guarantee as possible, this thing's going to end in profit. And we will be loading another call debit spread, a big one, on Riot stock tomorrow, which again is a Bitcoin miner. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into the content. All right, so before I actually go over the trust here, of course, you guys can see that both LTCN BCHG is up massive. I have been telling you guys for eons at this point that LTCN and BCHG were likely going to pop off first. Again, this is just one day. We'll have to see how this plays out. But the reason being is because Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, Bitcoin Gold, all those things, like I've told you guys, they're oscillators to Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin moves in one direction, these oscillators are going to follow it. Okay, maybe not perfectly in sync, but generally speaking, they will end up following it. All right, so BCHG, LTCN up a lot. Now check this out. So Bitcoin is getting very, very close to breaking all-time highs. Okay. And I told you guys likely this was going to be a big week. There's a lot of stuff this week. There's jobs data. There's tons and tons of different earnings reports that got to come out. 5 of the, well, we'll just call it the Magnificent 8 at this point, because I don't think Netflix is not necessarily part of the Mag 7, but most people don't really consider them to be part of the Mag 7 at this point. But you have 5 out of the 7 Mag 7 companies reporting this week. In my opinion, they're all going to beat, okay, because they're, again, the most powerful companies in the world. And you have like 1,000 earnings this week. And on top of that, we're also right up against the elections and the midterms. And we also have an FOMC meeting coming up where likely Jay Powell and his buddies are going to cut by at least 25 basis points, because again, the Fed has never in their history started cutting and then stopped cutting in the middle of their cutting cycle. They've never done it. Okay. It's not to say it can't happen, but in my opinion, I don't see any reason why they shouldn't cut. All right. I mean, you've even had people on Wall Street calling for like 75 BP cuts. So, I don't think 25 is much to ask. So, Bitcoin, you guys can see it's making a series of higher highs, higher lows here, perfectly in sync, almost exactly with what we expected to kind of happen on the price charts. So once it gets above 70,000, the last line in the sand here for the bears, and I'll just say, like I said before, at this particular point in time, at this point in the cycle, I would not be shorting anything in crypto. Okay, it is a disaster waiting to happen. I just read a story the other day of a whale that got a whale. Okay, this is not a retail trader. This is somebody that has tons of money. Okay, got absolutely decimated on a short squeeze in a $15 million trade. Instantaneously. Okay. Shorting during a bull market is no joke. If you know what they say, if you play with fire, you will get burned. Now there's always a risk of a black swan event, but do I think that's going to happen over the next 15 months? No. Okay. I give that essentially a 0% probability of happening. I don't think there's going to be a black swan event. Okay. So I think the bull run's intact. I think we're ready to go, and Bitcoin's about ready to explode to the upside. So I did want to point that out. It did push above 70K today. And again, I did expect that this is going to be the week when Bitcoin starts really, truly ramping up. So the other thing I want to point out here is these massive, absolutely stupid gains on the miners today. Okay, so Mara up 11%, Riot's up 9.5%, HUD 8's up a whopping nearly 16%. The other ones are also up quite a bit. BTPT almost 10%, BITF 12.6%, IREN's up almost 18%. That's an eye popper right there. SoundHound, which we do have 1,000 shares of, is up a massive 18%. Serve is up. This is not a Bitcoin miner, but it's an AI play, is up 21%. CLSK even is up 10%. Okay. So again, the shorts are going to get squeezed. People are going to jump in on the long side, and the rally is going to feed on itself. That's exactly what I'm not going to say predicting, but that's exactly what I'm expecting to happen here. Even the meme stocks were making a slight recovery today. All right, so let's get into the trust now. I did just want to point that out to you guys to let you know that the crypto market is indeed in a bull run. Okay, so LTCN here, we told you guys that this is actually a bear flag formation on LTCN. Why? Because usually when there is a downtrend with a series of lower highs, lower lows, when you see this kind of pattern, which again, if this was an uptrend, this would be considered to be like a bull pennant or a bull flag, but it's not. It's in a downtrend. So most people that trade either side of the fence would consider this to be a bear flag. But I did tell you guys I thought there was a problem with this being a bear flag, and that is that it is at macro support. Usually bear flags happen on the way down. They don't happen at the bottom of the move. I consider this to be the bottom of the move. Plus, there was also the golden crosses that were kind of conflicting with that. So I told you guys likely I thought that was not going to play out as a bear flag. And it appears that that's pretty much what's going on here, okay? So we are pushing up against the top of this resistance. Once it gets above that in the EMAs, it's probably going to basically scream all the way up to 25 up here, maybe even past it. Again, I've told you guys time and again that the price action on these crypto related products can absolutely destroy resistance like it's not even there. Okay, you can see it happen right here. Boom, straight through, came straight back down, destroyed it again, closed above it barely, and then just took off like a rocket ship. So, if you're on the short side, God have mercy on your soul. That's all I got to say about it. Okay, so support as of right now is still between 12 to 15. You got that 25 to 27 in here and 54 above that. The all-time high for LTCN is $510, but again, I do think likely it can go much higher than that. So 330% gain just to get back to the swing high. BCHG, this one's already gone full beast mode. So you guys can see that this thing is really starting to break out now. So it's actually not even messing around at this point. This thing is really starting to go. So we got the close above the EMAs. Okay, I suspect something like this is going to happen on LTCN. So big fat green candle, bounce off the EMAs, and boom, we pushed higher. In the post market, it is down a little bit. But again, nothing ever goes straight up or straight down. There is going to be pullbacks in an uptrend, and there is going to be also pullbacks in a downtrend. Okay, so as of right now, if you're looking for a dip buying opportunity, it's going to be somewhere on the EMAs, so roughly about $7.25 to $8. The next target that we've been telling you guys for eons down here before this inverse head and shoulders, we've been telling you guys this would be the targets, or it could be even higher than this from down here. Okay. So for a lot of people, seeing is believing in crypto. It's very hard to have a vision for something you can't actually see in front of your eyes. Most people do not have the long-term perspective. Understand this about a lot of people that are in these markets. Okay. So 1030 to roughly about 1270 is going to be that next level. And then you have 18 to 20 and then 24 respectively. So maximum measure move here, 203%. Keep in mind, BCHG's all-time high is $60. HZEN still chopping sideways, but it looks good on the EMA or the RSI EMAs and the MACD. Very, very bullish. Okay, the price is above the EMAs now. So we got a break of the wedge. Again, the target for the falling wedge is the top of the wedge, so $10.50 at that swing high up there. The buy zone is still going to be $3.50 to about $4.10, and then you got the in between here at $7 to $8. So if there is a pullback, which I kind of highly doubt we're going to get any more major pullbacks at this point, roughly about 200% gain on there. ETCG. So this one is still within a descending triangle, especially when this is in a downtrend. This is very bearish. This is a bearish pattern. If you guys thought like, oh yeah, you're just a perma bull, you're only ever bullish. Well, that's true. I mean, history does favor the bulls. We are bulls. Essentially, most of the time we are bulls, but we're realistic about it, okay? We're not going to come out here and tell you something is bearish when it's actually bullish because we're perma-bearish, because we're not perma-bears, we're bulls, okay? But we're also realistic, and there's a bear flag on LTCN. Did I think it was going to drop down to bear market lows? No, because the way that the charts are setting up just doesn't make sense. So ETCG, I will say there is a chance here that this thing could actually break out to the upside out of this descending triangle. Again, this is a bearish pattern, but any given pattern has a probability of success. Okay, no pattern has a 100% probability of success. So there is a very, very small chance this thing could break out to the upside immediately. It could happen, maybe, maybe not. We'll see. The EMAs on the MACD and the RSI are supporting it. You can see the histogram slowly starting to trend up here. Okay, the EMA is curling up. It's very bullish. So the buy zone is still going to be between $7.30 to about $10, and then of course you have your range here anywhere from 13 up to 20. So maximum measured move here, 180% gain. The all-time high, I will say, on ETCG is way up there, so $95. HZEN, for those of you guys that want to know, I don't think this is the true all-time high for HZEN. It could have been much higher than this. Again, we only got basically the last 2 months of the crypto bull run last cycle on HZEN. It's actually true for a lot of these trusts as well. So about $30. It could be higher than that though. But anyways, so ETH cup and handle pattern here. The target is this white line up here at 47, which coincidentally is the previous bull market top, which is actually, it is actually the top for last cycle. Okay, so we have that. And then also we have the potential W pattern here. Okay, there is a gap that needs to be filled between 23 to 25. Gaps 95% of the time do get filled, so the buy zone is down here right around 18. And then you could potentially buy as high as 23.50 if you wanted to, and then kind of the target's 29 to about, again, that cup and handle target at about 47. So maximum move here is going to be roughly about 150% gain. GBAT, the EMAs are touching down here. That's very bullish. Okay, don't think for a second this thing is going to dump because the markets are extremely notorious for faking people out. We've been faked out too, believe it or not. So 450 to 530 down here at support. Next level up 770 to $10, and then the all-time high is at 32. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the all-time high because, again, we have not seen a true alt season for the altcoins. So likely these things combine the push from the altcoins, the altcoin market flowing over into the Grayscale Trust combined with the premiums, likely going to send a lot of these alt Grayscale Trusts to new all-time highs. Regardless, 570% gain here. All right, so File G, whatever you want to call it, we are getting a pullback below here. This could be an undercut. I've gone over what this is before, so it could just pop back up immediately. So support here going to be 34 to 43. The all-time high is 400. Again, Filecoin has not really, the actual token itself has not really moved much. So the all-time high for this trust could be exceptionally high. It could be in the thousands. All right. So 1,100 and roughly 50% gain on this one. GLIV, same thing here. We could be getting that little undercut, the final fake out before the eventual, all-time highs on pretty much everything in crypto. So 1230 to 15 at support here. The all-time high at 80. And maximum move here, about 550% gain. G-Link, this thing is holding strong. It's not wanting to budge, so we're getting buyers coming in here at support. So 37 to 45, that's a good sign in my opinion. Next level up, 66 to roughly about 85, and then the all-time high up here at 220. So about a 450% gain. GSOL holding strong. This thing will not budge. I have a lot of respect for that. So 300 to 350 at support. The all-time high is at 580. Maximum move here is about 95%, but I think likely GSOL is probably going to go to all-time highs. I mean, it's just kind of floating around the highs up here. That's usually a pretty bullish indication. GXLM, so the support zone here is going to be ranging pretty much anywhere from 15 to about $24, kind of in between those white lines. Next level up, 53 to 59, and then the swing high, not all-time high. The swing high is going to be at 70. So let me actually remeasure this. I did not mean to do that. So this is going to be about 340% gain. Mana, It's just sitting nicely on the support here. Again, if this thing pops off to the moon and you guys do not get a chance to buy in, well, I mean, the next chance you might get is during the bear market lows. So you may have to wait another 15 months. I mean, I'm not telling you guys to buy. Okay, not financial advice, but these opportunities are rare. There's no reason to FOMO, but there's always more opportunities around the corner. If you miss this one, just understand that. But I mean, the opportunity is here. So roughly about $10.50 on this one. Next level up is going to be about 17 to 20. The all-time high is up here at 70. 602% gain. Zcash. Last one, still chopping sideways. You guys already know the deal here. So the kind of buy range is between about $3.25 to $6. And the next targets up would be roughly about $8 to $10.50. So if you get another pullback to the white line, that would be kind of, in my mind, that would be a signal to get in. 220% gain on this one. All right. Hope you all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.